Top of the top, what's going on, good people? We back at it again, which means that we are black at it again. What's happening? What's going on, world? It's Saturday. Hope everyone had a great week. Hopefully everyone is feeling good. Seems like it's a good season for a lot of folks. I'm seeing a lot of weddings popping off, new births popping off. You know, the energy is looking real good. A couple of people came on, letting folks know that they got a new job. So, it seems like energy is good right now. So, wherever you are, however you are, I'm hoping that you are in a good space. But we are right back at it again. Another exclusive with the theme Hoop Dreams. And our guest today is someone who has definitely set the tone and changed the game a lot for, I would say, San Diego basketball. We're going to get into that as the story goes. Currently, right now, overseas, out there in Australia, doing big things
Austria.
out. Oh, Austria, my bad, family.
It's all
Austria,
good.
out here in Austria, doing big things, traveling the globe. So we have none other than the main man, Richie Williams. What's going on, King?
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me, thinking about me, and it's a pleasure to be on your show and be able to talk to you again after all these years, man.
Oh yeah, of course, man. It's been too long, man. I remember so a couple years ago when Kawhi got his jersey retired, I thought to myself like, this is long overdue. Like there should have been jerseys hanging up in the arena beforehand, But I understand why we want to start with someone like Kawhi of his caliber. I get that. So now that we have that up, I went through like 10 more jerseys that should be hanging up in that arena. And your jersey is definitely one of them jerseys that should be hanging up there. So hopefully we'll get to that point where we can make that happen, man. I mean, I have to put a little bug in Dutch ear or Matt ear to make that happen, man. But you definitely is someone who changed the game for the program at San Diego State. And we'll get started with that. But before we start there, I want to go back to high school. I want to go
Mm.
back to your Steel Canyon days, because I think we see where you are now. We see that you are a globetrotter. You've been around the world playing basketball, but I don't think people understand. Like, you was someone who was a late bloomer in a sense, and I think a lot of people slept on you. And I would love just to go back to that time to kind of start like when you first started out, and what was your vision in high school, where you wanted to go for college.
Well, in high school, I went to a high school that was unknown.
Yeah.
When I went there, they only had a freshman class before me, and when I
Mm-hmm.
got there, I was the second class. So we had freshman and sophomore. We only had JV.
Yep.
So, I mean, first off, there were other high schools that I wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
I was living in, my parents were split up, so I was splitting between Southeast San Diego, living with my dad, and Spring Valley with my
Yep.
mom.
Yeah.
So my parents didn't like the choices that I had in the district,
Yeah.
which high school to go to. So Steel Canyon opened up, and they were just accepting anybody at the time.
Right.
So um, one of my AAU coaches was telling my mom about the school, was like, hey, free enrollment, they're accepting everybody. I think this would be a good school for them, academically, and culturally. So
Right.
my mom put me over there. So I mean, I was typical high schooler, just wanted to be the star of the team, make the team, that type of deal. Had a successful, JV season, senior year, not senior year, but varsity coming up my sophomore year. And I just wanted to be recruited, to be
Yeah.
honest. At the
Yeah.
time, like my mind frame was just, I just want to just get a Division I scholarship and, you know, be somebody that my parents and my friends can be proud of.
Yeah.
And I was getting recruited by, low major Division I schools and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. Matter of fact, I ain't never told nobody this story. So my AAU coach was Bob Gottlieb. Rest in peace, Bob Gottlieb. He
R.I.P.
is the father of Greg Gottlieb, who
Greg
is
and
the
Doug.
assistant coach over at San Diego State.
Yeah. Yep.
So, at San Diego State, every summer you have those high school team camps, and
Yep.
you playing all these schools, and that's your chance to be like, hey, this is a way to make a name for myself.
I'm here. I'm arriving.
So, and you know, because y'all up there keeping the score, watching
Yep.
these games,
Yep.
got you in the coach's ears, like, hey, this player night's over here, court 1, court 4, hey, watch
Yep.
this cat. So, my high school team going up there every summer. We doing our thing, winning the championship, playing in the championship. And I still wasn't getting the love that I thought that I deserved.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm playing for Bob Gottlieb at this time. So I'm like, man, talk to your son, put me on. Like,
Right.
I'm trying, because I knew the whole time I wanted to go to San Diego State.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't getting the love that I thought I should have been getting.
Yep.
So we going into my senior year, and we're playing in the Christmas tournament, Torrey Pines tournament, which is one of the biggest, Christmas tournaments in high school at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, Kyle Spain came in the same year as me.
Yep. You and Kyle.
He was already signed.
Yeah.
And we had them boys the first game of the Torrey Pines tournament.
Okay, so Newark Memorial, which is from the Bay, came down to the Torrey Pines tournament. Okay.
So we playing Newark Memorial, first game of the tournament. So we wake up, I don't know if it was a Friday, Saturday morning, don't matter. We wake up that morning, I'm standing out at a teammate's house.
Mm-hmm.
We eating breakfast, and my teammate is reading the paper. Kyle Spain is on the front of the sports page of San Diego.
How disrespectful is this?
But that's how I took it.
The man is from the Bay. Is on the front page of the San Diego paper.
I was mad about it. So I didn't know he was on the front of the paper. So my teammate hit me. He was like, "Hey, yo, Richie, you see this?" He flipped the paper towards me. Kyle Spain on the front. He was like, "I thought this was your city." So he came at me with that. So I already came in with extra motivation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Kyle had a good game. That's my boy. I still talk to Kyle to this day.
Right.
But I put it on him that game.
Uh-huh.
I think I had like 25, 26, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that tournament ended up putting me on the map.
Yeah.
So after that first game, I had it because everybody coming, the college groups, San Diego State coming out to watch Kyle.
Yeah.
They check that's going to be.
They checking out their investment. Right.
So they checking him out. I dog his team, whoever on his team. Next day, we playing the number. I want to say it was Linwood. They was like number 5 team in the state at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They had a crazy athlete named Danny Williams, who was like top 5 high jumper in the country.
Yeah.
Top 5 football recruit. So they watching him. 48. So now everybody's starting to notice, like, who is this kid? Okay, that's over here dogging these dudes. And I think the following day, we play in the championship. And we played the number 1 team in the nation to go to the championship. Who was the number 1 team in the nation at the time, St. Anthony's.
Mm-hmm.
And we ended up beating them. And I had a cool game too.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm starting to get recognition that I ain't never ever seen before, never thought that I was going to get, knew that I wanted.
Yeah, yep.
So I don't even know how they got my phone number. I didn't even have a cell phone at the time. They over there calling my dad. They were calling people around me.
Right.
I got high division major 1 schools, Big East schools. Guess who calling up next?
Yep.
San Diego State.
Yep.
And I'm not even gonna lie, I was in my feelings a little bit.
As you should have been.
Cause I'm like, man, y'all get to see me every summer. I'm right up the street from y'all. I ain't even get an unofficial visit to watch a game. I'm just going off the strength that I'm a San Diego kid and I want to come here and play for y'all.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I'm still that little kid. I'm at the time. This is what I'm thinking. This is me thinking in hindsight. Like,
Yeah.
man, why y'all calling me now?
Right,
But
right,
then
right.
I was like, I'm geeked. I'm like,
Right.
yeah. I'm like, I finally got that call. So, I finally got that call, and he told me, he was like, I want you to come. I want you to come tomorrow, next week, or whatever he scheduled for an official visit. But if you come, I'm expecting you to commit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I gave him the, all right, let me think about it. I gave him the let me think about a response. But I knew the whole time I was
Right.
gonna say yes.
Right, right. You already knew. It was already in the bag. So
It
then
was already written.
look, here's the backstory on everything you just explained. So like you say, you coming up to San Diego State every summer. Your team is playing in the camp every single summer. We get a chance to look and see your game develop every single year. Now, let's also keep in mind too that at that time, it was some heavy hitters out there in San Diego at that time. I think the
Yeah.
boy Rico probably had the most pub at one point. JD was also like, just having his rise as well with the attention that he was getting. And I'm looking at you and I'm looking at your brother play. And I'm like, nah, these boys got heart. I'm watching y'all. Like most of the games that y'all had, I'm doing your games. I'm walking over. I'm like knocking people off. Like, bro, let me take this game real quick. Cause I'm like looking at your game. I'm looking at what we need for our team. And at the time, I think Matt was our starting point guard, but unfortunately, Matt had a lot of back issues. So like sometimes he
Y'all
would be
had
there,
Wesley
sometimes
Stokes too.
and we
He was
had we
there.
had Stokes and we had Stokes, but then like that's a whole nother story about
Right, right.
is Wesley gonna be on the court? You know what I mean? Because other stuff was going on with West. So it's like, bro, we need someone that's gonna be consistent. We need someone that's gonna come. That's like we can help and mold, and somebody who really wants to be here. And out of all those other guys that we were looking at, you was that person I knew, like, you really wanted to be on the team. You wanted to be a part of San Diego State. So then it's myself. I'm talking to Coach. I'm talking to Gottlieb. I know that his dad is coaching A. I'm like, Coach, what y'all think about Richie? Every day I'm in Coach ear. So then when the tournament comes and you break out, you have these, you go on a tear with these games. I'm now throwing it back in their face. I'm like, hey, you see what Richie did? Okay, so what we doing? And I remember telling Golly, I was like, y'all gonna mess around and he gonna go somewhere else. Because it's too you can't now start, acting like you always knew who he was because he been here this whole time. And like we're not doing what we need to do to get this man here. So, we put a lot of pressure on Coach. So I think by the time Coach calls you, bro, he was tired of hearing it from us because we was on his head. Like, yo, you need to go
I'm
get
glad y'all
Richie.
did what y'all did, man. But
Yeah.
you know what? Also, in hindsight, thinking about it too, looking at it from a different perspective, like I saw the questions that they had.
Yeah.
I'm a relatively unknown kid. At the time, I'm about 5'8", 5'9", 150 pounds soaking wet. You know what I mean? I wasn't the most athletic or anything like that, but one thing you couldn't measure was my heart.
Hard.
Like I always felt like I had something to prove. So whoever you know how it is, man. Like you reading the blogs. I
Yep.
mean, we didn't have Facebook and all that stuff then, but you had your blogs and stuff you could find on the internet talking about the top talent. And I'm trying to be wherever they at. When I
Yep.
know who they are, they don't know who I am. So when I
Yeah.
see them on the court, I'm like, I'm on your head. So I feel
Yep.
like I had something to prove every time.
Yeah.
So I mean, if anything carried me throughout my career, it would be my ability, like, to just thug everything out and be like, you know what, I always have something to prove,
Yeah.
regardless of what anybody says about me or,
Yep.
anyone else that I'm lining up against.
Yeah. And that's the kind of mentality that I think we needed to take on as a team. I mean, because we still was riding off of the hype that Steve Fisher was our coach. You know what I mean? At that time, we didn't haven't really proven anything. We had one good year, my freshman year, where we went to the tournament and got smacked by Illinois, who had three NBA players. They had Luther Head, Frank Williams, and Brian Cook on that squad. So they
Mm.
smacked us by like 30. The following year we went to the NIT and lost to Texas Tech in the second round, and then my the next year we had a terrible season. So like we had something to prove as a team, and I felt like if we was going to bring in anybody, we needed to bring in people who had that something to prove mentality, because we couldn't just rest on the loins that we went to the tournament some 2 seasons ago. You know what I mean? Like we had to get back to that boy. So,
Right.
bringing in people like yourself, man, was really going to make all the difference in the world. I thought, this is just me as a player, but also been there for a little bit, so I can kind of say something to coach. You know what I mean? Just to kind of get him thinking. So that's how I was looking at it, man. And you definitely had that, bro. And them other, no disrespect to the other dudes, they was dope. Don't get me wrong, but at the time, I felt like their mentality was like they already have arrived, so they ain't got nothing to prove. I
Right.
remember, I'm not gonna say his name, but I remember Fam, like every different quarter of the summer league game, he was changing shoes. I was like, oh, bro, this dude on some other stuff, man. Like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about too.
we, we ain't got time for that, man. Like we need some people out here that's out here ready to get it, So I
Mhm.
saw that. I definitely saw that, man. But everything happened for a reason, and it all worked out. So you get to San Diego State. What was your impression when you get on campus, man? Like, you hear you arrived, you on a team. Like, what was like going through your mind as a first year player playing for San Diego State?
Uh, for me, I was just wide-eyed, bushy-tailed kid. You know, I'm watching y'all on Channel 4 San Diego every Thursday, watching y'all games. So I'm like,
Yeah,
damn, I'm still like in awe. I'm
right,
like, damn, that's Tremaine.
right,
That's John Sharper. That's
yeah,
B. Heath, Player of the
right,
Year, Marcus Slaughter. So I'm still like, kind of shook. So I remember my first day of practice where we running a basic 3-man weave, and I'm throwing in front. Well, you the point guard. You supposed to be the leader. I'm still
yeah.
like, y'all got Player of the Year, Brandon Heath over here. Why y'all need me to be the leader?
Right.
3-man weave. He passed me the ball, and it go right through my hands. Dutch, get in the back of the line. Got this freshman out here. Like,
Right, right, right.
but yeah, man, I was just trying to learn as much as I can. John Sharper was big for me. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
he would be with me at the art, the student rec center, the gym on campus,
yeah.
playing all the time. And and also too, like you get a certain perception of people when you watch them on TV.
Right.
So I didn't know John Sharper. I knew John Sharper from what I saw on TV watching him play.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm like, oh, he just a shooter. He can't
Mm-hmm.
do nothing. I got this on lock. Man, we get to that wreck, and I'm seeing skill. He like, ha, 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 ha,
Yep.
pull up in my face. I'm starting to see a side of John that I ain't never seen
You
before. I
never
only seen
see.
on TV.
Right.
And that's when it like that was my welcome to San Diego State moment.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm gonna have my work cut out for me.
Oh yeah. 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 That I think too, man. That's always an eye opener for most of us, man. We get these like you say, we're watching what people doing on TV, and it's different from when you see them up live in person. And I remember for me, like I never saw San Diego State play at all on TV. Being up in the Bay. But when I got there, I'm like, oh shit, this is different. This is and at the time we had seniors. My freshman year was a bunch of seniors. You feel me? So it was a lot of grown ass men out there like balling. And I remember one day at practice, Randy Holcomb came up. He was like, Trey, what you average in high school? And I was like, about 20, 22, 23. He's like, oh, okay, that's what's up. How many rebounds? It was like 17. He was like, damn, for real? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, that's what's up. And then he just went down the locker room line, like, what you average? And everyone had like 26 and 14, 29 and 13, like just going down the line of like what he was like. So, like that shit don't matter. What you gonna do here is what matter. Like, just put it into perspective. I was like, damn, yeah, I got my work cut out for me, man. This is different. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be different right here, man. But it all worked out, man. And for me, I was happy to see that, you came and you committed. And even though like, we was kind of going through like that those wake up calls as our first years. We all have been there before, and I think that's something too, to Sharp's credit, to see something in you to want to take you in and like, come on, let's go get this workout in. You know what I mean? Like, let's go to the gym, let's go hoop, because for most of us, we've been there for a couple of years and we knew what it was going to take for us to get over the hump. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of bringing all that together and gelling it. Um, Something else I think that you did, that kind of gets overlooked a lot, and this is why I say you should have your jersey hanging up in the arena, bro. You opened up the doors for folks who was from San Diego to come to San Diego State, because before then we wasn't getting a lot of folks that was from San Diego to come in that door. You know what I mean? It was kind of being overlooked, and I'm sure you've had a chance to talk to folks like Malcolm. You know what I mean? Who talked about, like, seeing you on the campus, seeing you on TV, like, made him want to, come back home and, come to San Diego State. So you did a lot, bro, for San Diego basketball to stay at home, man, and rep the home school, man.
Appreciate it, man. And
Yeah.
you know, in the moment during the time, you don't really know what you're doing or the impact you're going to have until down the line the impact happens.
Yeah.
For me, I'm just like, I'm a hometown kid. I want to stay home. I want to be close to my friends and family, and it would be dope to be able to play in front of them every week. I'm at 17, 18 years old. I'm not thinking about the people behind me that
Right.
are looking up to me. I'm just looking out for myself at the time.
Right.
And
Right.
so it wasn't really until my senior year that I really started to see the impact that I was having on my community,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going down the roster looking up. I'm like, man, all these guys are from LA.
Mm-hmm.
LA, Orange County, you might
Mm-hmm.
sprinkle somebody from Northern Cal like you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it wasn't until my senior year that, I really started to try to have an active voice. Like, hey, this is the way to go. If y'all have an
Yeah.
opportunity, y'all can stay home. It became bigger than just basketball
Yeah.
for me at that point.
Yeah.
And, you know, honestly, like, through you is where I found my voice in leadership,
Mm.
because my freshman year, we didn't really have too many people on the team that were very outspoken. You
Right.
had Marcus Slaughter. He's an introvert. He didn't really talk. He's a goofy dude, but
Right.
he ain't really talkative. You know what I mean? You ain't put in front of nobody.
Right.
You know, we had Mo Abukar, who isn't the most, outgoing guy.
Right.
Tim True, Chris Lamb, Kyle Spain, Brett Horner. We can go down B Heath.
Yep.
If you would say who's the most outspoken guy on our team, it would be him.
Yeah.
And then I would say I would have you A, and then Brandon B. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like you were our undisputed leader, and you gave me the confidence to have a voice, because you're gonna be like, you are point guard, you got the ball.
Yep.
Get us together.
Yep.
I remember we used to be out of control, and you used to get the ball. Point guard, come
Yep.
get this. You tell us what to do. You know what I mean? And that kind of like laid the foundation for me and helped me be like, I don't care. It doesn't matter that I'm a freshman. You know what I mean? I can get people in the right direction, get them in their position and stuff
Yep.
like that. So for me, going back to my community and be able to talk to them and help guide them started like through you, to be like, hey, it don't matter about your age.
Right.
You are in a position to be a leader. So
Right.
be one.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I appreciate you for that, man.
Yeah.
It really, that type of stuff sticks with me to this day. No matter
Yeah.
what room I walk in, the lack of experience I have, it'd be like, have confidence in my voice and who I am.
Facts. That's it. That, to me, that's what it was about. And getting the captain helm of, like, I'm going to be the captain of the team. I was like, okay, so I'm just going to make sure this team understands that everyone's role is just as important as me as a captain. So let's make sure that everyone understands that and feels it, so that they can be empowered to, like, do what they have to do on that court. That was always like my mentality, being a leader. But you talked a little bit about your senior year, which I think is a special year. I think that year is when San Diego State went from, getting some kind of looks here as a mid-major to a program. Talk about what that was like for you playing, being someone who had experienced a bit of success, as a freshman, going to the tournament, winning the Mountain West tournament, winning league, and then going to the tournament, and then now to your senior year to where like it's national attention. What was that like?
It felt good. I mean, for me, it was a little bit nerve-wracking. You know what I mean? But it felt good. It was one of those things where it's like, you know what you want, you know what you feel you deserve, but you just ain't getting it. Then when you finally get it, you kind of like, oh, I was taken back by it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it felt good to like, you know, now we ain't sneaking up on anybody
Right.
anymore.
Right.
Now we're not. At that time, I felt like we stopped being a school that people wanted to transfer to.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're kids' first choice
Mm-hmm.
in where they wanted to go. And I started to take pride in that once we started getting the bigger name athletes, kids wanted to come take visits and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Lorenzo Wade was a big part of that.
Yep.
To my knowledge, him and Mo Abukar might have been the biggest transfers that we didn't have.
Yeah, yeah.
Mo coming from a national championship
National
team,
championship team in
you
Florida.
know, uh, Zoe coming from Final Four Louisville,
Yep.
so those guys brought so much attention. So now it's up to me
Yeah.
to hold my weight. Shout out to Mike Frank, hold your
Yep.
weight. So it
Yep.
was up to me to do my part to make sure that we were successful. But it felt good to not be the underdog anymore, and to now we got the target on our back.
Yeah.
But it came with its ups and downs, but definitely more up. I definitely you know like being the one that everyone's chasing instead of being the one doing the chasing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can imagine, man. I think, when you think about San Diego, we are the closest thing to a professional ball program in San Diego. We don't have an NBA team in San Diego. So the success of San Diego State's basketball program kind of feels like it's on, like, as far as media coverage, feels like, you are a professional team. And even when things wasn't rocking the way it was rocking, but when y'all I remember one day I went to the grocery store, man, and picked up a Slam magazine, and y'all was in that Slam magazine, and it was about 2 or 3 pages. I said, "Oh, okay, we we done made it. We here now. We got 2 or 3 pages in this Slam magazine. It's
we
real."
came a long way from the Russell uniforms.
Listen, I'm trying to tell folks, man. It came a long way from the Russell uniforms, man. But man, no, I think that's the beauty. That's the beauty of having people like yourself that a program can invest in and to build it to where you can see, like, the potential that you thought we could have, it's now reached. And so now there's a new goal of how we can reach higher. And I feel San Diego State ain't looked back since then, bro. Like, y'all helped put it to where, it got national attention, and it's been that way since then. That's a credit to the work that you, like you say, yourself, Mo, Zoe put in. And it's also credit to those who y'all have inspired to look back and be like, yo, San Diego State is dope. I want to go to San Diego State to keep it going, man. It's super big, bro.
I like that we have an identity now.
Yes.
You
Yep.
you know what you're gonna get when you come to San Diego State. You know
Yep.
that student section is gonna be rocking. We're gonna play some tough defense. We're gonna have some big wings and
Yep.
everything like that. We're gonna have some long athletic bigs out there. Like what you're gonna get every time you come to San Diego State. And I
That's
felt
it.
like, for a long time there really was no identity or no real sense of direction.
Hmm.
And I like where we're headed right now, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. So after your senior year, you make the transition to turning pro. What was that experience like for you, to become pro? Did you want to go overseas? Were you trying to get to the NBA, or, like, how was that for you? What impacted you to make the decision to become a professional?
Man, I feel like I was like any other American collegiate kid. Shoot, I want to stay home and playing the NBA.
Right.
We got the G League now. Then it was the D League. Shoot, if I need to go through the D League, let's do it.
Right.
But you know, I had to take an extra semester in order to complete, my commitment to San Diego State and get my degree. First
Mm-hmm.
off, my commitment to myself and, my parents,
Mm-hmm.
but also to San Diego State to get my degree.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went through that summer to get it, by the time that happened, the overseas market was pretty much closed. So I was just working out every day, you know, keeping hope alive, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Hoping something will shake. And I just remember, you know, getting my first offer to go to play in Iceland. And the first thing I thought to myself, I'm like, Iceland, like they play basketball in Iceland? I'm
Right.
like,
Right.
I'm like, what? So I go and do what I gotta do. I'm like, wherever y'all gotta send me, to get my career started, but I mean, you don't really know what you're getting into until you get into it. I mean, I didn't know anything about overseas basketball. I knew
Mm-hmm.
Marcus at the time had already been gone, played a
Mm-hmm.
year.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brandon has stuck around his
Yeah.
first year.
Yeah, he
He was
did.
he was still at home playing, D League and stuff like that.
Right, right.
So I didn't have any knowledge of what was going on. So I was just, hey, found me an agent, and I was like, whatever I need to do to get, my foot in the door, send me wherever I gotta go.
Yeah.
Basketball is the same everywhere. That's what I
Right.
thought.
Right, right. So, from near to where you are now, man, you have wrapped us. You are a true veteran now at this point. Um,
Mhm.
do you still see yourself playing for a few more years, or are you starting to think about possible hanging it up and transitioning to something else? Like, what's your thought process now?
I want to play as long as I can,
Yeah,
as long as my body will allow me to, as long as it's in God's plans. I want to play.
yeah,
It's a game that I love, a game that's, always growing, always changing, that I can evolve with. And I know even when I'm done playing, I want to still be around it, whether
yeah.
it's in coaching, training, or anything. So
Hmm.
as long as I can play, I'm gonna play. I might not be playing at the highest level at the tail end of my career,
Right.
but just to play. I mean, you know how it is when it's all said and done. That love and passion never goes away.
It never
You,
goes away, man. Never
I
goes
seen I
away.
seen a couple of your highlights that you posted up, and I'm like, man, he's still making that same move since 2005, and they ain't figured it out.
Oh, man, that's hilarious. That is hilarious, man. Hey, what they say? You can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's what it is, bro.
He ain't gotta learn to if you don't force him.
Hey, that's it. That's it, man. Dog.
I know you gonna dribble 2 times right towards the middle,
Yep,
spin back to the left, hook him, and you gonna go under the basket and shoot.
yep. Easy call. Easy call. That is the classic go-to, and like you say, it has yet to be stopped. It has yet to be
So
stopped.
I still want to play as long as I can, man. I
Yeah,
got I got a daughter who's growing, so she's starting to see me play a little bit, and
yeah,
you know now I'm more intentional because I know I have an impact, because I
yeah,
know I'm influencing people. So now I can be a little bit more intentional
yeah,
with what I'm doing.
yeah.
So as long as I can play, show people that I can still play, I'm gonna do it as long as I can, man.
That's what's up, King. What's that like, man? Being a father. Now you are a father. Also a professional player. Like, how's that balance been for you to lead by example? One, with putting everything you can into your sport, but also everything we do with our kids, we're teaching them whether we know it or not. So how's that been for you as a father?
It's been good. I learned more about myself than I learned being an actual father, because that's an ever evolving process and thing. But
Yeah,
I learned more about myself.
yeah,
I mean, kids they're gonna always tell you what's on their mind, how they feel, what they don't like, what they do like. So even if I think I'm the parent or something like that, they're gonna acknowledge, well, Daddy, you said this the other day. Why are you doing this today? Like,
Right.
nobody's gonna hold you more accountable than God, you, and your children.
Man, man.
So it helped me grow up as a as a man,
Yeah.
as a human being, and it gave me a sense of direction.
That's
So I
what's
think
up.
that's the biggest thing. It gave me a sense of direction. I didn't realize how lost I was until you know I had to lead someone.
Mm. That is a that needs to be on a t-shirt, bro. That's a bar. And that's real, man. I feel too, especially raising little girls, it's a different kind of sense of emotion, a different kind of sense of direction, and it has a complete different impact on fathers than I would say having a boy does. It's just different. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that it's better. It's different, and it's felt different. You know, that's for sure. Having two little girls myself now, like I definitely feel the difference, and also having you know an older boy, like I feel that difference for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I didn't have nothing.
Okay. I'm gonna close out. You know, thank you for your time, man. I'm gonna close out with these last five questions, just like fill in the blank questions, man, and then we'll close on now. So the first one says, basketball has made me most thankful for blank.
My health.
Mm, man, listen, if you ain't help, you can't hoop. That's for sure. You ain't lying about that. My dedication has taken me where?
Dedication has taken me. Man, it's still leading me. The road ain't ended yet.
It ain't ended. It's ongoing. It's ongoing. It's that you still got a couple more stops on that navigation, huh?
Right.
Okay, for sure. If I wasn't playing basketball, I would be.
I would be doing music,
Mm, what genre?
R&B.
I knew it. I wasn't gonna say it. I knew it. I wasn't gonna say it, but you know, I'm
I
happy you
understand,
put
brother.
that out
I
there.
would be the songwriter.
Okay, cool, cool. All right. Yeah, hey, however it would have came out to be, that'd have been what's up. Um, I wish I knew then what I know now.
Oh man. Um, be intentional.
Mm,
Be intentional.
yeah,
Sometimes you just get caught up in just living life,
yeah, yeah,
enjoying
yeah,
life.
yeah.
And then by the time you hit 30, you be like, damn, I did all this having fun and doing whatever. And, now you need to figure it out.
Figure it out, bro. This is my last year as a 30 something, bro. This is it.
Hmm. Um,
You know what I mean? So
you don't realize till you stop and smell the coffee. You be like, damn,
listen.
I'm 30. Like I'm like, damn, I'm turning 35 in
Yeah,
August. I'm like, it it really like in my mind, I don't feel 35.
right, right, right.
I'm like, damn, it's been 20, almost 20 years since I done left high school.
Yep,
But
yep.
yeah, man, time flies, man. You
Time,
gotta be
time is
intentional.
moving. Time is moving, man. For real, for real. My last question for you is, what do you want your legacy to be?
Man, just that I was a real genuine person. You know, the basketball, now I don't really care too much of the impression I leave on people with basketball. It's more so what they thought about me as a person. So
Mm-hmm.
I want I want people to feel like, hey, Richie, a cool dude. He always kept it real with me. He was someone I liked hanging around with, talking to, and you know, also he was also good at basketball too. I want basketball to be the also. I don't want it
Yeah.
to be the first thing that come to people's mind.
Mm. That's what's up, man. Well, bruh, I appreciate you, man. You know, I've watched your career over these years, man. Kept tabs on you from time to time again. Sometimes when I visit San Diego, sometimes I run into your mom. So it's always having a good conversation with her, seeing her. And I know that she's proud of you as well as your brother. And bro, you know what you did for the city, man, cannot be understated, man. You really set the trend as far as making people understand how important it is to grow roots in your home. And bro, you know, I just appreciate everything you've done, man. I want to come bring you on, brother, to give you your flowers, King.
Hey, likewise, brother, man. It was a pleasure seeing you on the Super Bowl a couple years ago. I remember being on the bus. We had a road game. I'm like, hold on, everybody be quiet. I know the train about to be, I gotta get this record, man.
Right,
So
right.
we may not talk all the time, but we're definitely watching each other from afar, man. And I'm proud of the man you've become and going to be, and I love what you're doing, man. Keep that up.
Appreciate it, King, man. Well, thank you so much for your time, man, and keep on at it, King.
Appreciate it, dog.
All right, fam. Till next time.
Ciao.
Peace. There you have it, folks. Another one in the books, another great one. You know, shout out to the boy Richie. Shout out to his family, his brother as well. You know, if you don't know a lot about San Diego, I know sometimes we can get caught up in, you know, San Diego being America's finest city, whatever that means. But there is, you know, a real community in San Diego, you know, like there is everywhere else, you know, and for Richie to be where he coming from, out of Southeast San Diego, to make a positive impact on the court, but also to his community is big. And I'm someone who had a chance to see that happen, you know, as it was happening in real time. And, you know, definitely thankful for everything that he's been able to accomplish because a win for him is a win for all of us who had a chance to put on that red and black jersey at San Diego State. And you know, I know that his legacy will continue to inspire others to make powerful impacts within their community as well. So, thank y'all for tapping in. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed that interview. We may have one more interview with this theme, and then we're gonna, you know, move on. August is coming up. Black August is coming up, so we'll do our best to try to educate and bring in some folks to kind of talk about the importance of understanding what Black August really is. So hopefully we'll have one more within the Hoop Dreams saga, and then we'll keep it pushing. But thank y'all for tapping in. Until next time, man. Y'all be cool. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.